what I will say to you is that the whole becomes the sum of all its parts. So today we're talking about global business, and we're talking about the global business community, the investment environment, taxation regimes, and so on. But in another environment, which is a part of the whole, you'll hear the conversations around things like the role being played by fund access to be able to finance the operations of businesses below a certain level. Fund access will finance up to $150,000. EGFL, which has been in existence for a long time, they finance over and above that. You heard me speaking about the IGM and the Junior Stock Exchange. When I spoke at that, we talked about the number of firms, especially out of countries that are just close to us, like Jamaica, that when they started, they were small operations and they were able to build scale by having access to working capital, technology, and networks as a result of equity investment. So that's another part of the whole. But then you also have financial literacy. The coordinator is here. We've now expanded the scope of the financial literacy program. So we now have a dedicated business lead who is working with businesses in the same way we have expanded to schools. So we now have over 50 schools in active operation. And by the second term of this school year, we'll have 90. So schools are there, but the business pillar is now being grown. And so all of those things together, Business Barbados and the changes that they're making, there's no single bullet, but it is for businesses to be able to use all of the all of the mechanisms that are available through the government and through the private sector to make arrangements. One of the things that I'm happy to say to you as well is that we've now begun the process of engaging through fund access, trust loans, and the commercial banks, right? To be able to speak about how we can forge closer relationships with the financial services institutions that are outside of government and those within government to be able to finance operations, expansions, exports, and to grow businesses to scale, to be able to get maybe not to the level that some of the businesses here are at, maybe even bigger, right? But there's no single bullet.